If you have nothing good to say, don't say something to somebody. So, he had a lot to say that was demeaning and disparaging towards some of our players. Just disappointed, knowing that he has so much left, for the year and giving more to this team. So, we're behind him 100%. We're going to support him however we can.
Jerry Jeudy is now facing some absolutely intense criticism following a major incident right there on the field, where he was seen yelling at Shedeur Sanders, essentially blaming him for mistakes made during the game. And now, you've got a team leader, Myles Garrett, who has spoken out about this whole situation, expressing just how confused he was by Jeudy's actions. Garrett put it out there plainly, making it crystal clear that he just didn't understand why Jeudy would target Shedeur of all people, saying it was just flat-out wrong for him to say so much to his quarterback. He really drove the point home that, as a team, they are in full support of Shedeur Sanders, and he wanted everyone to know that they are standing right behind him, especially during this incredibly tough and public moment. It's become obvious now that Jerry Jeudy isn't going to be able to simply sidestep the backlash from his on-field actions.
More power to him, but I'm just trying to keep my guys focused on the game and not worried about stuff outside of it, because we're focused on what's on the field.
And that's not all. Myles Garrett also made it a priority to speak directly with his team, reinforcing the idea that they've collectively chosen to block out and ignore any of the outside noise and opinions on this whole affair. He stated in no uncertain terms that neither he nor his teammates would ever condone Jerry Jeudy's behavior towards Shedeur Sanders. You can imagine this message brought a huge sense of relief to Shedeur, as the young quarterback could have easily been feeling the immense pressure from that incident with Jeudy. With the team's unwavering and public support, Shedeur felt much more at ease, secure in the knowledge that they truly had his back. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is also feeling his own frustration, not just with Jerry Jeudy, but with the team's entire performance. Despite feeling like he gave it his all, the opportunities on the field just weren't capitalized on, which ultimately led to a brutal 8-2. In what can only be described as an emotional outburst, Shedeur didn't hold back, suddenly and sharply criticizing the offensive players and pointing a finger directly at Jeudy for their seriously underwhelming efforts. He made it known that the team has to step up and take responsibility because the offensive unit completely failed to deliver. Shedeur emphasized that this loss felt unjust, and it's the kind of performance they absolutely cannot allow to become a recurring pattern. He's holding every single person accountable and making it known that this level of play will not be tolerated moving forward.
Like, as players and as teammates, we have to be able to gel with each other and be comfortable with each other in every situation. That takes time. That takes a lot of things. So, this team is not going to be a microwave thing,
Shedeur Sanders went on to express that the team's confidence was severely lacking, and that the plays they were attempting to execute simply weren't strong enough to get the job done. The whole offense just seemed unstable, and you could feel it. Even though the players knew deep down that they had to deliver, when the time came to perform, when it really counted, they were completely unable to execute. He stressed the critical need for unity, especially during those challenging in-game moments, but sadly, that unity just wasn't achieved in this game. As a direct consequence, the team came up painfully short. His comments were a clear and raw reflection of his deep frustration with his teammates, who, in his eyes, failed to step up and make plays when it was most desperately needed.
So it's about being more confident, whenever we are getting slow. It's about rallying the guys, and I didn't do a great job of that today. Rallying everybody together whenever things aren't going our way, and staying that.
Shedeur Sanders was absolutely exceptional as the quarterback in this game. He was making some truly outstanding, almost unbelievable plays. But his team completely failed to back him up. And it wasn't just the players. There were critical moments when it really seemed like the coaching decisions were also a major contributor to the struggles on the field. A prime example of this happened down in the red zone, when Coach Stefanski made an incredibly questionable call by pulling Shedeur out of the game and handing the ball off to Judkins, who had been struggling mightily against that beastly 49ers defense all day. It was so clear to anyone watching that Judkins just couldn't match their physicality, Yet Stefanski chose to rely on him in that clutch situation instead of letting Shedeur continue to lead the offense. A decision that turned out to be a massive, game-altering mistake. Shedeur Sanders played his heart out, making several impressive high-level plays, but he just didn't get the support he needed from his team. And like we said, at times, it really felt like the coaching decisions were also playing a huge role in the team's struggle. That key moment in the red zone, when Stefanski pulled Shedeur for a struggling Judkins against that tough 49ers defense, was a backbreaker. It was evident Judkins couldn't handle their power, yet the call was made, and it ultimately backfired. So, you can see why Shedeur's frustration with Jeudy was completely understandable. He was out there playing at an incredibly high level, but players like Jeudy were making it so much more difficult for him to shine, even when he was executing perfectly. Take the Browns' very first play, for instance. Shedeur saw the pocket opening up perfectly right in front of Jeudy and delivered a perfectly timed pass right into that space. But what happened? Instead of running into that wide-open area, Jeudy inexplicably slowed down, causing what should have been a flawless, easy completion to fall incomplete on the turf. And while Judy's outburst towards Shedeur might have grabbed all the headlines, it doesn't change the undeniable fact that Judy's underperformance has been a consistent, frustrating issue for the Browns all season long. In the previous game, Shedeur displayed the exact same composure and poise as he did in this one, but once again, Jeudy let him down by failing to secure a wide-open touchdown. Moving to his right, Shedeur drew the defenders towards him and saw Jeudy streaking wide open downfield. He threw a perfect deep pass, putting Jeudy in a prime position to score a walk-in touchdown. However, a momentary critical lapse in focus caused Jeudy to fumble the ball, missing a massive opportunity. The throw itself was absolutely flawless, showcasing Shedeur's incredible ability to perform under pressure. But unfortunately, Jeudy just couldn't capitalize on it. And despite the relentless, suffocating pressure from that 49ers defense, Shedeur continued to make some of the most difficult throws imaginable with exceptional accuracy. There was even a point when he was left fully exposed, with no offensive lineman protecting him, leaving him completely vulnerable in the pocket. Yet even in that incredibly precarious situation, Shedeur still managed to deliver flawless throws, showcasing his sheer determination and elite skill. Even when facing a top-tier championship-level defense like the 49ers, he was still making magic. Let's take a closer look at one of those standout throws. So even though Jeudy tried to make a big scene and call out Shedeur Sanders, things really didn't play out the way he had hoped. Jeudy simply couldn't outshine Shedeur, and everyone saw it. Recognizing Sanders' incredible talent and his resilience through all of this, Stefanski made it abundantly clear that he was fully committed to Shedeur as his guy moving forward. He publicly announced that Sanders would be the starter for the next game, a huge acknowledgement of the quarterback's efforts. Despite the Browns' tough loss, Sanders' ability to execute under immense pressure was undeniable, and Stefanski made sure he received the public recognition he so clearly deserved. His performance was the one true standout moment of the entire game, and Stefanski excited that Shedeur would remain the starter, period.
Kevin, did you think that Shedeur built on his first start last week against the Raiders?
Yeah, I'd have to look at it, Mary Kay. Obviously, he's battling like all of our guys are battling. I know there's plays he wants back, but we'll look at it. We'll correct it.
Will you start him next?
So, in conclusion, the chaotic events surrounding Shedeur Sanders, Jerry Jeudy, and the Browns' recent game against the 49ers really paint a complex picture of intense frustration, a desperate need for accountability, and inspiring resilience. Shedeur's performance as quarterback was the undeniable bright spot, as he executed incredibly difficult throws with remarkable accuracy, even while facing relentless pressure from a truly formidable defense. Despite his clear talent and composure under fire, Shedeur's efforts were often completely undermined by his own teammates, particularly Jeudy, whose constant underperformance and sideline outbursts highlighted the deep-seated issues festering within the team. Jeudy's actions, especially yelling at Shedeur on the sideline for everyone to see, became a major point of contention, with team leaders like Myles Garrett and others publicly expressing their full support for Sanders. It became painfully apparent that the team's internal dynamics were seriously strained, and that Shedeur's frustration with Jeudy was completely and totally justified. There were also those moments when the coaching staff, led by Stefanski, made decisions that seemed to directly contribute to the team's struggles, like pulling Shedeur out in the red zone in favor of a struggling Judkins. These decisions, paired with crucial missed opportunities by key players, only amplified the challenges the team was facing. And yet, despite all of these setbacks, Shedeur's resilience, just shone right through. His ability to perform at a high level under pressure, even in the face of so much adversity, did not go unnoticed. Stefanski, recognizing Shedeur's immense potential and his unwavering determination, publicly affirmed that Sanders would remain the starting quarterback moving forward. This decision, while it came after a really tough loss, was a powerful reflection of Shedeur's leadership and skill, which were the true highlights of the game. Ultimately, the Browns' loss served as a stark reminder that in football, an amazing individual performance is often overshadowed by the collective effort or lack thereof of the entire team. For Shedeur, his ability to lead, even in the most difficult circumstances, sets a powerful foundation for his future as the team's quarterback. So, what do you think about Shedeur Sanders' performance in this game? Was his frustration with Jeudy justified, or do you think he should have handled the situation differently? How do you feel about Stefanski's decision to publicly support Shedeur and name him the starter moving forward? Do you believe the team's internal dynamics, especially the obvious tension between Shedeur and Jeudy, will continue to affect their performance in future games? And finally, do you think the Browns can actually turn things around with Shedeur leading the offense, or are they doomed to continue to struggle with these missed opportunities and wildly inconsistent play? We would love to hear your thoughts on all these questions and how you think this team can improve moving forward.